once again request all those still outside to please come in and take a seat so we can start proceedings. Please, if you're still outside, we request you to come in and take a seat so that we can start off proceedings for tonight's event. One more time, all those who are still outside, if they could please come in and take a seat. welcome drink. We're all nicely seated. Would you like to start off the proceedings tonight? The County Executive, Department for Youth, Gender and Sports, Mombasa County, Mheshimiwa Mohamed Abbas, the Chairman, Women's Sports Club Mombasa, Mr. Muhammad Hussein Jin, the Chairman, Nasapuria Memon Jamaat Mombasa, Mr. Osman Mitwani, the Chairman, Trustee Board, Nasapuria Memon Jamaat Mombasa, Mr. Muhammad Bachu, the convener for the Dentistry for You East Africa Volleyball Open 2016, Mr. Muhammad Hussein Abu, the co-convener for the Dentistry for You East Africa Volleyball Open 2016, Mr. Muhammad Salim Barmani, the event sponsors, past chairman of the Jamaat and Memon Sports Club Mombasa, elders, brothers, friends, sportsmen, and for the first time ever, to all those viewers watching us tonight around the world via the live stream, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and a very, very good evening to you all. I would like to request Mr. Abbas Ali Nathani, Secretary of the Memon Sports Club Mombasa, to please come forward and officially open tonight's proceedings with a prayer.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladhina an'amta alayhim ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Amin. Sadaqallahu al-azim.
Jazakallah Abbas Ali. I would now like to request everybody to please stand up in respect of the national anthem of Kenya. Of billions, individuals who erase the boundaries that create differences between the people. It is thanks to them that we have learned that race, region, religion, and money are not differences that matter. Today, I take this opportunity to salute this special breed. I salute all the sportsmen and women, and with them, I salute all the entities, all the people who give us the sporting platforms, the government, the sponsors, the organizers, the spectators, and of course, the players themselves. Deep down from my heart, a very, very big thank you to all of you. Tonight is the beginning of such an event. The dentistry for you, East Africa Volleyball Open 2016. And with that, I would like to invite the driving force behind this mega event. His humility will melt your heart. His determination will make you wonder. And his hospitality, well, for that, I still haven't found words to describe that. A round of applause, gentlemen, for the convener of the East Africa Volleyball Open 2016, our very own Mr. Muhammad Hussein Abu.
Executive from the Ministry of Youth, Gender and Sports, Mr. Muhammad Abbas, Chairman Women's Sports Club, Mr. Muhammad Hussein Jin, Chairman Nasapura Memun Jamaat, Mr. Osman Mithwani, Chairman Nasapura Trustee Board, Mr. Muhammad Bachu, Mr. Representatives from our main sponsors, Dr. Abu from Dentistry for You, Mr. Tufail from Unique School of Driving, Mr. Sabir from First Community Bank, Mr. Bhavesh from Crown Paints, Mr. Khalil Malik from Pearl Dairy, elders, past chairman, club, past chairman, Nasapura Meman Jamaat, dignitaries, invited guests, team, captains and representatives, members of the media, sponsors, members of Meman Sports Club, and fellow sportsmen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. What started as a spark in November last year is now happening. The East Africa traditional volleyball is now upon us, and it has started already here today. I would like to place on record my appreciation to the Ministry for Youth, Gender and Sports, Mombasa County, through the Waziri, Mr. Muhammad Abbas, for once again having partnered with us for this grand event. I clearly remember standing here in the very hall at the cocktail draw for the Pwani Futsal 2015, and Mheshimiwa promised us better support in all our events. Today, we can see that, and he is right to his word. Meman Sports Club has always been at the forefront in promoting brotherhood and fellowship over the years. Our slogan, recreation through sports, guides us to ensuring we provide sporting facilities to our members throughout the year, as well as create a platform for sportsmen and women within the region to showcase their talent at a grand scale. We last hosted the EA Open in 2009 in Mombasa, where a total of 5 venues were used. This time, we will use a total of 3 venues and 4 grounds. We have come up with a brand new second playing court in Meman Villa from scratch. You have already seen it on your way into the hall and can have a chance to also inspect it after the tour. 7 years is a long time, and it is our hope and belief that we will come up with a grand spectacle which will live long in the memories of all who witness it. As part of the East Africa Open, we also have a concurrent event dubbed the Family Fest. This will be a combination of events for ladies and kids ranging from art corner, carnival games, netball, badminton, to mention but a few. This will ensure there is something for everyone during the 3 days, aside from the volleyball action. A very interesting area for the general public will be the cottage fair, where various entrepreneurs will display their products and services for sale. We hope to have a good turnout and response at these stalls. Last but not least, I would like to wholeheartedly thank all the sponsors and partners to this event. Dentistry for You and Unique Driving College are our gold and silver sponsors respectively, while First Community Bank, Crown Paints and Pearl Dairy are our 3 bronze sponsors. We have a good number of banner sponsors as well as sponsors in kind, without whom this tournament would have been handicapped. Finally, to our partners and volunteers who have worked hand in hand with us till today and will continue doing so till the end of the event and beyond. I appreciate the sleepless nights and unmatched energy levels you have all put into preparations and setup thus far, and may Allah bless all our efforts with the desired results we want to achieve, inshallah. I urge all sportsmen, participating volunteers and spectators to maintain a strong sense of discipline and sportsmanship spirit to ensure the effort put in by the club brings a resounding success to this mega event. Wishing all the teams a very best of luck, and may victory be the sport and the spirit.
Jazakallah wa lakabina. Gentlemen, behind every team there is a leader, a parent figure whom you gravitate to. The person who reminds the entire team what its goals are. And we, as the Memon Sports Club, are beyond blessed to have such an individual lead us, guide us, and shape us. A big man with an even bigger heart. Please welcome, with a round of applause, the chairman of the Memon Sports Club Mombasa, Mr. Muhammad Hussein Jin.
Is part of our characters, and this character is part of all of us as a team at Memon Sports Club. If you look at the organization today, a lot of hard work is going on, and this is the tip of the iceberg. Today is the start, the beginning of a very busy week, a very eventful week. And these boys of mine, I don't know how to describe them, but there are no words. I cannot even think of a word in the English dictionary. But this is the challenge they take on day in, day out, hour in, hour out. Give them a big round of applause. Now, this work which they carry out, as I said, day in, day out, to them, stuff is challenging, but it doesn't create tension in them. In fact, they thrive on this kind of work. They grow on this kind of work. But the thing which actually stresses them out many a times is when we brothers here from different communities, different sections of the community, the rich, the poor, the haves and the have-nots come in and sometimes there comes an area of disagreement and we start fighting each other, we start quarreling with each other, we start disagreeing with each other, and that creates a lot of tension in my voice. Not this whole thing they are doing, not all this work, but when we see lack of unity, this actually stresses them. It really bothers them. So my message today here, as the chairman of Lemon Sports Club, please, I implore you to please stick to being good sportsmen. Give way for each other. Respect the officials' decisions. Be there for each other. We are the Asian community from all over East Africa. We have brought you here to bring our hearts together, to bring our minds together, to gel together and to enjoy ourselves and have 4 days of total fun. And please, 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 I urge you all to respect the organizers, respect the decisions, and let us gel together and have a nice East African tournament. I did not start with addressing all the dignitaries, but I will do now. I'll do so now. Chairman Sahab, thank you. Chairman Trustee Board, the representatives of let me speak for you, Dr. Abu, thank you so much. Representing the other co-sponsors, Unique, Bupet, Granfred, Ramesh Bhai, thank you so much. Kaki, thank you so much, and all representing from FCD. Thank you so much for sponsoring India for us. And my greatest thank you, I'm living for the greatest, the person I have utter and total respect for here. And that is our own executive for youth, gender and sport, Mr. Muhammad Abbas. Please give him a big hand because he paid big time to us. Thank you so much, Muhammad Abbas. You mean a lot to us, and I'm sure we can all proud. Thank you again, gentlemen. Remember my message: unity, togetherness, fair play, and sportsmanship is the key to our success. Thank you so much. Now I'd like to call upon the chairman of this beautiful Jamaat of ours to come and say a few words.
Officials of the Jamaat, officials of the club, invited guests, dignitaries, players, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The wait is over. And the event we've been looking forward is finally here, alhamdulillah. Thank all the participating teams for taking time and making the journey. We would also want to thank our sponsors for their support and the ever hard-working members of our sports club for all their efforts that they put in. We can all see this looks like a FIFA draw. The World Cup FIFA draw. I mean, it's brilliant. It's excellent. So, may Allah reward you for all what you are doing, and may He give you that strength for the many tournaments that you will all organize. we all pray to Allah to bless this draw, and every subsequent part of this tournament, to make it a grand success. May Allah bless us all and shall always be with us all. Thank you.
Jazakallah, both the club chairman and the chairman of the Jamaat. Gentlemen, our club has seen various changes and developments over the years, but the evolution that we have experienced after partnering with one spectacular personality and his good offices has been beyond phenomenal. A true leader, an inspiration, a man of the people. Please, let's welcome wholeheartedly the County Executive for the Department of Youth, Gender and Sports, Mombasa County, Mheshimiwa Muhammad Abbas. Gentlemen, a round of applause please for this inspirational personality. Assalamu alaikum.
Good evening, gentlemen. So grateful. Those praises are meant. Those praises are meant for the person who gave me this opportunity to serve. Those praises are meant for none other than God. Because without Him, I wouldn't be here. I remember last year when we were here, and we started with the futsal. I remember when Mohammed and Salim came to my office, and we started talks on how we can make futsal a success in Mombasa County, and how we can partner and see what other events we can be working together for the betterment of Mombasa. And I remember very clearly at that time when they came, Mombasa was going through a difficult time. We were having some terrorist attacks. People were scared of coming out to Mombasa. And we kept on wondering if people from other counties or other areas were going to join us for this. And it's amazing what an event can do. From my experience, I can tell you one thing for sure. An event not only promotes talent, creates awareness, promotes peace, and creates a state of mind that we are blessed. We nourish our young, we promote ability and the talent that exists. And that's what we do. And ever since that day, we've had too many events. I remember there was a cyclone. And we are still discussing on bringing back futsal, because futsal was such a success, and the only thing that we can think about is how bigger we can make it. And I remember even the governor's words were, this year we have to make it bigger. And I'm still insisting, yes, we're doing the East African Volleyball, which is bigger, but futsal will be much bigger also. Mombasa has the talent. I remember beginning of this week we were in Nairobi, and the meeting that was being discussed is how FKF can come up with a new league for counties to participate, where counties can compete, so as they can feel that we are there for it. And I remember I was the only one who stood up and opposed and told them, you know what, maybe you guys have not started. We in Mombasa, we have already sponsored FKF's county league. So for us, we are doing a lot right now. There's no way we are going to this showcases direct is one person that I really have so much respect for, because Mehboob has worked with me throughout 2015. It's been 1 year since I started handling the bucket of transport and infrastructure. When I left transport, now I'm handling youth, gender and sports. Mehboob has always helped me out. Swimming has always been a passion to me, because I swam from the age of 5 to the age of 19. To swim for Kenya. So I exactly know what talent exists in the person and what we need to do to make sure that we improve on that talent and giveaways and opportunities which we have. Why I say Mehboob has always made a point while we are sponsoring an event or not, but always comes and tells me, listen, what you want to do in the event, please make sure you come for it. And I always try my best not to let it go, because I know how much it feels and what difference it makes to the youths when they see that their minister is there while they are competing. It makes them push themselves hard. And that is the reason why I'm going to insist on this. We are going to be there together, stand together, and make sure that East Africa Open becomes the anthem of the whole country. With those few remarks, I want to say thank you very much, guys. You guys are more than partners to me. You guys are my brothers. And we'll always be together. Thank you. I've been told to sing and to play volleyball, you have to keep the ball up. So when you keep the ball up, you must support the team. बहुत शुक्रिया भाई. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Asante sana Mheshimiwa. Please, once again, a round of applause for this amazing gentleman. And inshallah, God willing, Mheshimiwa, will live up to your expectations. And with you by our side, with your offices and government by our side, I take the permission from the current convener to say that the sky is the limit. Moving on to the main agenda item for tonight, the draw. I would like to request my friend, my brother, Irfan Kadanani, to please come forward and conduct the draw for the Dentistry for You East Africa Volleyball Open 2016 and guide you through the entire process. Irfan Kadanani.
Executive for Youth, Gender and Sports, the convener of East Africa Volleyball Open 2016, Mr. Mohammed Hussein Abu, the Chairman, Women's Sports Club Mombasa, Mr. Mohammed Hussein Jin, the Chairman, Nasapuria Memon Jamaat, Mombasa, Mr. Usman Mitwani, the Chairman, Trustee Board, Nasapuria Memon Jamaat, Mr. Mohammed Bachu, sponsors of the event and their representatives, past chairman of the club and Nasapuria Memon Jamaat, elders, invited invited guests, dignitaries, sportsmen, my colleagues, members of the media fraternity, and all those watching abroad, all protocols observed. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and a very pleasant evening to all of you. We are here to conduct the draw of the now so famous and hopefully mega East Africa Traditional Volleyball Open 2016. On your way in, you all received a sheet of paper which had majority of the permutations and the format of the draw. I hope everybody is very comfortable with what they have in hand. My responsibility before conducting the draw will be to just clarify a few of the points so that it becomes clear, and then we can proceed to the draw. So initially we had started with an expectation of 32 teams for the East Africa Open. Unfortunately, we fell 4 short. We will now have a confirmed lineup of 28 teams from the region. Making it even and for ease of draw and of course the qualification knockout process, we have decided to group the 28 teams into 7 groups of 4 teams each. So at least every team gets to play a minimum of 3 group stage games. The top two teams in each group will automatically qualify for the round of 16. So when we have the top 2 from 7 groups will have a total of 14 teams, and the top 2 best third place teams will also make it to the round of 16. So you need to finish third, right? It doesn't have to be 2 teams from the remaining 14. You have to finish third in order to qualify for the next round if you have not made it to the top 2. So it's supposed to be the best 2 out of the 7 third place finishes. Okay, so if that is clear, we will be having a total of 16 teams in the round of 16, which is the second round after the group stages. The ranking will be decided on number 1, the total number of points amassed in the group stages. Okay, the total number of points after your group stage games. After that, should there be a tie in the total number of points, then we will head to the aggregate score, the score difference. So the score difference will determine if the points are level after the group stage. So it's going to be score 4 against the aggregate of 4 and against during the 3 group stage games. Should there also be a tie on that note, then we will decide the winner or the runner-up or the third place using the most points scored. So first is points, then is the aggregate, and finally is the points scored. So the number of points you scored during your 3 group games. Okay? So I hope up to there it's all clear. Now, in an unlikely event where the teams are still tied after the 3 permutations, right? After the 3 permutations, if the teams are still tied and both of them qualify for the next round. So say for example, team number 1 and team number 2 have the same points, they've got 6 points, they've got the same aggregate difference plus 40, and they've got the same points scored, probably plus 80 or plus 60. Then a coin toss will decide who goes in as winner, who goes in as runners-up. Okay? So that, because you all qualified, both of you are qualified, a coin toss will decide. This is worst case scenario. I'm very sure this will not happen, but this is worst case scenario. Now, in the unlikely event that this happens, whereas the 3 permutations have been considered and you are still tied and only one of you can qualify. So say for example, number 2 and number 3, or maybe the first best team has qualified, and then you've got the second best third place team and the third best third place team on a tie. So of course one of them needs to go. You can't have a coin toss there. Okay? So in the unlikely event that that happens, we will have one set of 30 minutes played to determine the winner. Okay? So we're talking about unlikely probabilities, but we have to clear that out in the draw so that it becomes very transparent and clear to everyone. I hope I'm clear. We'll have a question and answer. If there's any further clarifications required, we will have that after the draw has been conducted. As you can see in front of me, we've got 4 pots. We've got 4 pots in which we've got teams. Pot 1 has got the 7 seeded teams. The teams we felt would give the tournament the best possible attraction, action and volleyball entertainment, of course. So based on that, we have seeded 7 teams into pot 1. On the screen, you can see the format of the draw. We've got the seeded teams. The first seeded team, Memons. We've got Nur Islam Akbarians from Mombasa. Vyamshala A from Dar es Salaam. We've got Nairobi Memons Sports Club from Nairobi. Kisumu Muslims all the way from Kisumu. Muslim Youth Thunders from Mombasa. And last but not least, we've got Arusha United from Tanzania. So these 7 teams will make the first pot of the seeded teams. The second pot has got teams from Tanzania. So the second pot has got teams from Tanzania. And the teams from Tanzania are Vyamshala B from Dar es Salaam, Vyamshala Blue from Dar es Salaam, Vyamshala Red from Dar es Salaam, Hindu Union from Dar es Salaam, and Lindi Stars from Dar es Salaam. So these are the Tanzania teams from Tanzania who will be in pot 2. As you can see, these pots have been color coded. So we've got the red for the pot 1, we've got green for pot 2, we've got the rest of Kenya pot. Pot 3 will have teams from rest of Kenya, and these are Nakuru Stars from Nakuru, Nakuru Cosmos from Nakuru, Shabs from Nairobi, Young Titans from Nairobi, and Memon Heroes Nairobi, obviously also from Nairobi. So that comprises of the third pot. Finally, in the fourth pot, we've got the rest of Mombasa teams. I'll quickly run through them. Nur Islam Bullions, Nur Islam Avians, Nur Islam Delphians, Muslim Youth Renegades, Muslim Youth Scorchers, MKJ Royals, MKJ Stars, Muslim Padala, Young Muslim Brothers, Memon A, and Memon Stars. So these are the 4 pots we've got for tonight's draw. The scoring will be as follows. For a straight 2 victory, the winning team will get 3 points. The loser gets none, 0 points. For a 2-1 victory, the winner gets 2 points and the loser gets 1 point. So it's all to play for. It's not 3 against no loss here. So if you win the first set and get beaten, the next 2 sets you still have 1 point on the board. Okay, so that's the point system we will be working on. That is just pretty much to encourage everybody. That is not all lost, right? One set win can really put you into a better position to qualify for the next round. Of course, the way we have placed the pots is to ensure that we've got regional entertainment. We've got spectators coming in to watch a grand finale. They've come in to watch a spectacular event. The reason why we've seeded the teams accordingly is to make sure that there's action from everywhere. Mombasa, Nairobi, Dar es Salaam. At every venue, we will have teams from everywhere. So rest assured that there'll be entertainment throughout Memon Villa. Of course, this being our hub for the 3 days at the East Africa Open. And of course, we will have games being played at Ground 2, which will be Muslim Kumbar ground, and Ground 3, which will be the Brahm Samaj ground. One last permutation, of course, during the draw. No two teams from the same club can be potted in the same group. Okay? So if Nur Islam Avians come into the same group as Nur Islam Akbarians, then they will slot into the next available space. Okay? And of course, if the first pot has got Vyamshala from Dar es Salaam, then any other Dar es Salaam team, if they are drawn into Group B, then no other Dar es Salaam team can go into Group B. Okay? So we've tried this out, we've worked out the trial of the draw, and hopefully, inshallah, it will all fall in place. Okay? The games, of course, will be played on a best of 3 format, 30 minutes per set. Group games, yes. The knockout stages will be played on a 40-minute basis. Okay, without wasting much of your time, I think everything has been pretty much clear. We will have a question-answer session, a brief one at the end. I would now like to proceed to the draw itself. I'd like to call upon my colleague Abbas Mitwani to please assist with the draw. And for the first pot, which is for the seeded teams, I'd like to call upon Hashimiwa Mohamed Abbas to be accompanied by the convener and the co-convener of East Africa Open, Mohamed Hussein Abu and Mohamed Salim Barmani, to please come forward and pick the first teams. As default, of course, we've got the host team. The host team, Memon Sports Club, designated as Memons. They will automatically slot into A1. So I've got the Memon Sports Club A1 slot in, which I would request Hashimiwa to please open and confirm. Memon Sports Club it is. So Memon Sports Club have been drawn into Group A as A1. Can we please have the next team for B1, team from the first pot into B1? First team into Group B will be Nairobi Memon Sports Club. Nairobi Memon Sports Club, first seeded team to be drawn out into Group B. Hashimiwa, if you could please proceed. See some fancy lighting as well as you open the sheets. Into Group C, we have Nur-e-Islam Akbarians. Nur-e-Islam Akbarians go into Group C, slot C1. Okay, we can proceed. Kisumu Muslims is the fourth team out of the draw. Kisumu Muslims will go into Group D as D1. For Group E now, We've got Arusha United all the way from Tanzania. Arusha United slot into Group E. As you can see on the far right hand side, as the teams are being slotted, they are also being removed from that list so that we can make sure that we've got all the teams drawn in. The second last team from the seeded teams will be Muslim Youth Thunders. Muslim Youth Thunders will go into Group F as F1. Slight delay. Apologies for that. So Muslim Youth Thunders have gone into Group F. And finally, from the first pot of seeded teams, we should be having already some roars in the crowd. Vyamshala A will complete the first round of seeded teams. Asante sana Mheshimiwa, thank you so much. Vyamshala, I know you guys are watching, and I've seen some images. You guys are watching with your team on a big screen. Asante sana for tuning in. There you go, your first team has already been drawn out. Thank you so much. Okay, so we move on to the next pot, which is going to be pot 2, consisting of Tanzanian team. So again, from here, I'll be guiding as to where the team slots in, because we cannot have 2 Tanzanian teams in the same group. For that, I'd like to call upon the chairman, Nasapuria Memon Jamaat, along with the representative from Dentistry for You, Dr. Abu, to please come forward and draw pot 2. Gentlemen, also on the sheet of paper received, you have the knockout stage draw. We've already set out the knockout stage. So on the bottom right hand side of the sheet of paper, of course we'll be circulating this on social media as well as email and WhatsApp communication, so that everybody is aware. So the first team has been drawn out by the chairman. Hindu Union will be the first Tanzania team, so they will go into A2. Hindu Union from Tanzania will go into A2 along with the hosts Memon Sports Club. Dr. Abu will draw out the second team. Lindi Stars from Tanzania will be drawn out into Group B as B2. Lindi Stars go into B2. We've got the third team ready, Mr. Chairman, sir. Vyamshala B will go into Group C along with Nur Islam Akbarians. Vyamshala B. That's going to be quite a match. Dr. Abu, Vyamshala Red are the next team, and they will automatically go into Group D. Vyamshala Red will go into Group D as D2. The next team, Vyamshala Blue. Vyamshala Blue have been drawn out, so they cannot go into Group E, because we already have a Tanzanian team into Group E. So the next slot available is Group F. So Vyamshala Blue will go into Group F as F2. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chairman and Dr. Abu. So we've got 2 incomplete slots. We will start the next round with Group E. Okay, so since this is a rest of Kenya pot, if it comes into Group E as E2, it's fine. If it goes into Group G as G2, it's also fine. Alright? For that, I'd like to request the chairman, Memon Heaven Sports Club to please accompany our silver sponsor representative, Mr. Tufail Mitwani, to the podium to conduct the next round. Our silver sponsor, of course, Unique Driving College. We appreciate your support. Tufail Uncle, of course, our chairman. Thank you so much. A round of applause for these gentlemen, please. So in pot 3, the first team drawn out, Tufail Uncle. Shubs from Nairobi will slot into Group E as E2, the first team in from pot 3. Chairman will draw out the second team into Group G, and that will be Nakuru Stars. Nakuru Stars have been slotted into Group G as G2. Okay, so we've got the next team, Nakuru Cosmos. Nakuru Cosmos will now slot into Group A. Nakuru Cosmos will slot into Group A. One more permutation, of course, we've got a lot of teams in pot 4. So teams from Mombasa, of course, aside from if you're playing for the same club, can play against one another. The next team from pot 3, Mr. Chairman, Memon Heroes Nairobi. Memon Heroes Nairobi. Okay, they cannot go into Group B because we've got their parent club Nairobi Memons. So they will now slot into Group C. Memon Heroes Nairobi will slot into Group C. Okay, so the next team from that pot 3 is Young Titans. Young Titans will now go into Group B. Young Titans will go into Group B. Young Titans will go into Group B. The first team, Nairobi Memon, is a seeded team. The next team is from Tanzania, and so we've got them into Group B. There you go. All right, so we are clear so far. Thank you so much, Tufail Uncle and Chairman. I would now like to call upon to draw the last pot. I'd like to call upon our representatives from the bronze sponsors, Mr. Bhavesh Gandhi from Crown Paints, Mr. Khalil Baki from Paul Dairy, and Mr. Sabir Baradia from First Community Bank. We could please have the co-convener escorting them to the podium. Thank you so much. So I'd like to apologize us for the short delay. We still have one permutation we're confirming. A slight apology. As the permutation said, no teams apart from the Mombasa teams from Port 4 can go into the same group. Okay. In Group B, we've got Nairobi Memon Sports Club, and Young Titans, of course, also from Nairobi. The next available slot from the rest of Kenya pot is therefore Group F. Okay. Are we clear? No, D has got Shams from Nairobi. Those guys have got Kisumu Muslims from the rest of Kenya. The rest of Kenya slot comes first. Okay? So if they are from the same rest of Kenya pot, they will have to move to Group F. Because there is no rest of Kenya team from in Group F. Okay? Apologies, that was my mistake. So we have Young Titans into Group F as F3. We can now roll and proceed to the Mombasa teams. It's now an open draw. Unless we've got teams from the same club, it automatically falls into place. The first team, so Bawesh, Muslim Badala will therefore go into Group B. Muslim Badala will go into Group B as B3. B for boy. B. Okay. The next team automatically going into Group D. Muslim Youth Scorchers will go into Group D as D3. The next team now, Mr. Khalil. MKJ Stars, Muslim Kumbar Jamaat, MKJ Stars will go into Group E as E3. Muslim Kumbar Jamaat will go into Group E as E3. Please proceed. The last third slot into Group G will be taken by Muslim Youth Renegades. Muslim Youth Renegades, that's the third team from the Muslim Youth Club. They will go into Group G as G3. Sabir to draw out the last round of teams to complete the draw. MKJ Royals go into Group A. MKJ Royals go into Group A. So we've got a complete group. Gentlemen, we've got a complete group. Memons, Hindu Union, Nakuru Cosmos and MKJ Royals complete our first group. The next team, Khalil. The parent club from Memon A is Memon Mombasa, so they can automatically go into Group B. So Memon A will face their Nairobi counterparts in Group B as slot B4. So we've got the second group complete. Please proceed, Mr. Bhavesh. The third team from the pot, Nur Islam Avians. So Nur Islam Avians cannot play their parent club. Nur Islam Avians, since Nur Islam Akbarians is also in Group C, Nur Islam Avians will move into Group D. Nur Islam Avians will move into Group D as D4. So we've got Group D complete. Sabir to draw out the fourth team from the pot. Young Muslim Brothers from Mombasa. So Young Muslim Brothers will slot into Group C as C4. Young Muslim Brothers. So we've got four completed groups. We've got four completed groups, A to D. The next one, Mr. Khalil Baki. Nur Islam Gulians. Nur Islam Gulians will go into Group E. Nur Islam Gulians will go into Group E. So we have a complete group as well. Group E has been completed. We remain with two more teams in the pot. So Bhavesh. Nur Islam Delvians. Nur Islam Delvians will slot into Group F. Nur Islam Delvians will slot into Group F. So we've got our sixth complete group, and now to make sure everything falls into place, we've got one team remaining on the right hand side listing, and we've got one team in the pot. Sabir will confirm that it is Memon Stars. Memon Stars will slot into Group G. Thank you so much, representatives from Crown, Pearl Dairy and First Community. Gentlemen, that's the end of the draw. We've alhamdulillah conducted it in as transparent a way as possible. I apologize for the slight mistake which happened earlier on, but I think we are all okay to proceed. So we will be circulating this draw at the end, of course, at the end of the day through social media and through email and of course text message through the captains. I'd like to wish everybody a pleasant next 3 days before the entertainment, the rivalry starts. Rest assured, we will be as transparent and supportive as possible, and we expect the same from the rest of this sporting fraternity. From me, it's thank you so much, Asanteni Sana, and have a pleasant remaining evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Irfan. Well, there it is, gentlemen. The draw for the Grand East Africa Volleyball Open 2016. Now, with every competition, there is talk about the prize that is up for grabs. While the cash prize is definitely enticing, the joy of lifting that trophy and being crowned the champions of East Africa is totally out of this world. And for that, I'd like to request the representative of our main gold sponsor, Dentistry for You, Dr. Abu, together with the chairman of the Nasapuri Memon Jamaat and representative of the silver sponsor, Unique Driving College, Mr. Osman Midwani, the chairman of the Women's Sports Club, Mr. Mohammed Hussein Jin, the county representative of the youth, gender and sports, Mr. Mohammed Abbas, the convener, Mohammed Hussein Abu, and co-convener, Mohammed Salim Barwani. Please come forward and officially unveil the winner's trophy for the Dentistry for You East Africa Volleyball Open 2016. Together with the runners-up trophy for the same. A round of applause, gentlemen. This is a magnificent piece of silverware. Together with the trustee board chairman, please, if you could join us in. There you go. A magnificent prize that is up for grabs. Dubbed, the winner's trophy has been dubbed the Dr. Ismail Harunani Trophy. That will be the winner's trophy for the Dentistry for You East Africa Volleyball Open 2016. Thank you very much, gentlemen. No event, however small, can be accomplished without the help of several supporters working in the background. And before we wind up today's event, we would like to thank the Nasapuria Memon Jamaat Mombasa chairman and his administration and offices for the facilities for tonight's draw, fully free of charge. We'd like to thank the Waziri, Mr. Muhammad Abbas, and his offices for their support, undying support. I add Dr. Abu, our elder, and Abu's catering for the sumptuous cocktail spread. The draw that you just witnessed, Guru Technologies, Ahmad Osman, and Shujauddin Abu for the fantastic job that they've done. These guys have been backstage all along and they've made this happen, so a big round of applause for these exceptional gentlemen. Anthem consultants for their expertise, equipment and manpower. A special mention to our local media houses, Nation Group, Standard Group, Wani TV, Post Week, The Nation Weekly. You guys have been brilliant in supporting us, in shouting out to the public. Thank you for all that you have done so far. We look forward to much bigger, much better events in future, inshallah. Definitely, we cannot forget the gold, silver and bronze sponsors, as well as the stall and banner sponsors for the East Africa Volleyball Open 2016. The kit sponsors and all the sponsor representatives who have come here today. Asante sana for your presence. To all our viewers worldwide on the live stream, thank you very much for tuning in. The convener and co-convener for the immensely important input. to Mr. Iftikhar Omar and our very own Abdul Majid Nurani for the photography, as well as the gentleman from Wani TV for coming here tonight, and the other media houses that I mentioned. More importantly, in fact most importantly, to you lovely people for coming here, witnessing this growth, supporting us in all that we have done and in all that we will do, inshallah, this event and many more to come. From and on behalf of the convener and the co-convener, the chairman of the sports club, the entire sports club committee and their members, a very, very big thank you to all you lovely people. God willing, we shall have a splendid event with your support. With this, I'd like to request once again Mr. Abbas Ali Mathani to come and say a closing prayer if he is around. Mr. Abbas Ali Mathani. Finally, with the permission of the convener and co-convener of the event, I'd like to invite the dignitaries, the sponsors, Mheshimiwa, the chairman of the Jamaat, trustee board chairman. If the chairman of the sports club could please lead these dignitaries to the cocktail spread that we have set up on my right, and gentlemen, following them, I'd request all of you to also proceed to the cocktail spread and grab a bite. Some refreshments are available. Gentlemen, and all those viewing us worldwide, see you this Easter. See you at the East Africa Volleyball Open 2016. Jazakallah, and a very, very good evening to you all.